I have no internet.
You have internet? There you are.
Oh, no, it's really bad.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll be off.
Is it because it's snowing?
I'll be off. Look at that. I'll be off the air in about 3 seconds. So
nah, you're there. Well, there we go. We got a snowstorm. Yeah. We're both with snow. It's snowing.
It's unbelievable. Look at that. Never seen such a thing.
Welcome to Monday, people.
Yeah, welcome to whatever it is. Is it snowing by you now? Because it's not snowing here.
Oh yeah, we got it. Our ground is completely covered, and I'm looking outside. I have like a little tree or something outside my window, and I'd say on the little branches, it's like not like a tree, but like a bush more or less. On the branches, I would say there's about a 1/4 inch of snow.
Yeah, right here, like here, I can still see the sidewalks and the street and everything is fine. It's like a dusting on the grass and stuff. But it was snowing pretty good on my way home from work today.
Perfect timing, isn't it? For today, it's 3:30 or 4 o'clock right now. About an hour from now, when everybody's driving home, the roads will be nice and fucked with no plows on them.
And I feel bad for my wife. My wife is going to drive home in that garbage, and so I'm saying a little prayer tonight for her.
She'll be fine.
But she doesn't exactly drive a big SUV. She's driving a tiny little Nissan, so I'm hoping that she is all right.
She'll make it. She's not a rookie to snow.
No, but hey, look, I feel she's still a fragile woman, and I feel bad that she has to drive in the snow.
Hey, you're not allowed to say that anymore.
And the problem is that me, being the man that I am, I can't just go get her, because the only thing worse than me driving in the snow like 2 years ago is me driving in the snow now with one hand on wheel and one hand on gas.
Right.
And no feet to actually use to push any pedal.
To stop or brake or nothing, right? I'm curious on that, dude, just because I haven't seen it. So what happens if you were to step on the brakes or the gas? Are those disconnected, or are they taken out, or what goes on there?
It would still work.
Okay.
Like there's a switch that I can literally push that Heather could technically drive my car if she wanted to.
Okay.
But there's like a pole that's kind of in a way. So what it is there's a stick next to the middle console area.
Right.
That controls the gas and the brake. So there's 2 poles that are attached to the stick.
Okay.
And so when you push forward on it, it pushes the brake down. And then when you pull back, it lifts the brake and then pulls the gas, or pushes the gas down.
All right. That makes sense. Yeah, I just had not seen this setup at all. I don't know how this stuff actually works.
And I've gotten used to it. Whatever, it's fairly easy once you get the hang of it.
Sure.
When you first get going, man, you're like, my leg was still trying to press on it. So I got half a leg that's like was sore after I was practicing because it kept trying to push down on the pedals. It wasn't going to happen, obviously.
Right. It went from a struggle to now it's like pole position. You're just playing a game.
But and so like it would be weird though because I would try to take a turn,
right,
and my leg would. There were times where I forgot that I had to control the gas with my hand, and so there are times where my leg is trying to hit it, and I'm still moving. It takes some getting used to, but
sure. Well, that's it. That's it. Probably, and we can't explain that enough. That's probably every single thing in your life now.
Oh, yeah.
Takes a minute to get used to, but then you adjust.
Once you get used to it, you're all right.
Mm-hmm. But every single thing as you start, the first time you do it, you're like, oh my God. Oh, I got to go get a sandwich from the refrigerator. Well, I can't just jump up and get it anymore. I got to think, and I got to make a step, and I got to do this, and I got to do it right.
Yeah. When I first got home, it was the worst because nobody was used to it around here. And so my wife had to go back to work when I got back from the hospital, and I still didn't have a prosthetic.
Oh, man.
And so nobody, was really used to what I was going to have to do. And so, like, all the dishes were in the cabinet. They were way high up. Everything was, like, at a distance. I couldn't get to it from, like, a wheelchair.
Right.
So there were a couple of days where I had to DoorDash food because I had no other option. Because I'm sitting there looking at how am I going to get to the food and how am I going to get to the stove and the plates and everything else. I couldn't reach the microwave. There was nothing you could do. I just sat there staring at stuff.
Right.
It was DoorDash. Let's go.
Then you started telling your wife, yeah, leave some cookies on the floor before you leave.
Yeah. It was, all right, can you please take out a dish and like some food and stuff and put it on the counter so I can actually reach it?
Put some Tupperwares on the couch before you leave.
but now, obviously now with everything, you get used to it.
Sure. No, I remember, man, when I first got out of the hospital from my burn accident. I mean, I was out of the hospital, but I should have still been in. The only requirement I had for to get out of the hospital was I had to be able to get dressed myself, which was not a hard, when you really think about it, it's not that hard to, no matter what kind of pain you're in, to just grit your teeth and yell if you have to, but slide a shirt on or slide some pants on. It's really not that difficult. What was that difficult was when I was at home and I would, drop the remote control on the floor.
Yeah.
And I couldn't bend down, couldn't stand up and bend down. If I got on the floor, I wasn't getting back to the couch. It was a whole thing. And you start doing, and I'll bet you did all these things too. You take whatever you have and you kind of kick things around trying to get them to where you might be able to reach it.
Every time I could grab a broom or an extra shoe or something, I could slap it across over to me. Yeah.
Dude,
back left your food in a water bowl.
Yeah, there you go. Dude, when I first got hurt, when I got home, we used to this is before flat TVs. And we used to have a big old console, a 27-inch console television, right?
Yeah.
I had to, and it had the buttons on it, like the electronic buttons, not like a knob.
Yeah.
I had to have her move my couch to within a broom's length of it so that I could change channels. Because there was no way was I getting up to do it or bending down to do it. So I literally would sit there on the couch and I had a broom next to me and I would just reach the broom out with my one good hand and tap at the TV to change channels.
I'm being honest with you. Like, getting dressed for me is still fairly difficult at times. Cause,
I'll bet.
Like, you can't, like showering is totally different. I mean, I'm not trying to create an awful image for everybody out there. Don't picture me naked. But just imagine yourself without a leg. And I can't get, like, the prosthetic leg all kind of wet.
Right.
And so, it's not like you can just sit in the tub with, or in the shower with a metal leg on you.
Right.
And so you have to take it off. And then you have to get into a shower chair.
Right.
And then to actually get dressed, you have to be sitting down. You can't just stand up and put your pants on.
Right. And you don't have a leg to push through.
Well, even if you put the prosthetic on, like the foot doesn't move.
Right.
And so it's not easy to just put pants and stuff on over top.
Right.
It's a pain in the dick to try to get dressed and shower and all that kind of junk. It's a lot of getting used to when it comes to that.
Sure. And that's why you're always in shorts.
Yeah, well, it's so much easier to put
Sure.
on than pants are. Really, it's
Yeah. It is an adjustment, man. But there's somewhere, and this is how it was for me. And if I'm wrong with you, say so. But somewhere along the way, you stop giving a shit about that it's different, and you're just like, well, this is the way it is. If people don't like it, tough shit.
Yeah, I mean, I say that's quite often in the middle of the night when I have to like get into a wheelchair from laying down in bed and then wheel into the bathroom to go to the bathroom. I'm sitting there going, like, there's no use in getting upset about this. This is like your life for like ever. It's not like you're going to magically grow back a leg.
Yeah.
So this is it. Get used to it.
Yeah, that's it. Being pissed off about it ain't going to get you into the chair and taking that piss any quicker.
Nope. It's a lot easier just to say, all right, well, it is what it is.
Yeah. I went through it. I mean, obviously not the same stuff, but I went through a good bit of it myself. Dude, I had to relearn to do everything because none of my fingers worked. On either hand, they were both fucked from getting the tendons all burned up and stuff on the fingers.
No.
Dude, I remember when I got home and I first started getting to where I was trying to eat by myself. This sounds so dumb. It sounds like I'm a 2-year-old kid, but when I was first trying to eat, my ex used to take ace bandages, rolled up ace bandages, and she would tape them into my hand. And then she would stick a fork in the bottom of one of them and a knife in the bottom of the other one of them. And I'd be like this doing, it was the weirdest fucking thing. But it was what I had to do. I mean, I didn't have any choice.
When I was finally starting to get my wits about me when I was in the hospital, I was going through I don't know whether it was alcohol or cigarette withdrawals or whatever it was, because I, stopped everything all at once.
Sure.
And I couldn't even hold a spoon. Like if I tried holding a spoon, it would just end up across the room because my hands were shaking so bad. It was awful. And I mean, I'm telling you, if you smoke that long and you just quit like that, all of a sudden your brain and everything doesn't know what the hell to do.
Right.
And so I was like, I couldn't hold an envelope. People would send me a card. I couldn't, and it would end up on the floor halfway across the room. And I mean, it was really a lot of getting used to. But everything's fine now.
Yeah, now you get used to it. But dude,
that's gone.
it's hard. It's just hard to explain it to people because they just don't understand. Like, I'll ask the question. Maybe I'm assuming you're going to have the exact same answer I did. How many times looking back a year ago were you a complete and total dick to your wife for no reason?
Oh, a ton. Yeah.
Tons, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you feel bad about it.
Yeah, and I believe me, I've apologized more than you could possibly apologize to somebody.
Yeah.
Because it was just, your life was turned upside down, man. It was so different and so weird.
Mm-hmm.
And having to...
and having to be needy.
And way needy. I mean, there are tons of... again, I couldn't drive for a year.
Yeah.
That poor girl had to... every single day, I'd be sitting around the house, couldn't work, couldn't drive, couldn't just take a walk outside. And I'd be waiting for her to get home from her job to take me outside for a ride or whatever it was, and she didn't want it. Sometimes she just wanted to lay down. But I couldn't just sit there like that. I was a pain in the ass. Sure.
Dude, well, when I first came home, I just couldn't do anything. Nothing. And, I got into the awful bad habit of going, hey, doing that job where you're just yelling for them to be at your beck and call, right?
Yeah.
And so I would do that, and then she would come in, and she'd go, oh, what do you need? Oh, I need a drink of whatever, or I need some food, or change the channel, or whatever. Help me get up so I can slide my ass to the bathroom, whatever it was. And it just became more and more and more and more and more. Hey. So at one point, and I hate this story, but it's actually in my book. So, and I've talked to her about it, and she remembers it as clearly as I do about what a shithead I was. But I yelled for her and she didn't answer. And I yelled for her again and she didn't answer because she was like down in our basement, like doing laundry or something.
Yeah.
But she wasn't at my beck and call that exact second. So the third time I yelled and I didn't hear her, I got all fucking pissed off. And all I could do, because I couldn't get up or anything, the only thing I could do was fling my remote control. So I flung my remote control at a wall and shattered it. And started screaming, "Where the fuck are you at?" Blah, blah. You know, I was just a total prick. And I just remember she came in, she's like, what? She thought something had happened, like I got hurt or something. And I was like, "I need a drink of water." You know, she was like, "Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you?" You know, and she didn't get it. Even though she was living it, she didn't get it. You know, it's hard to explain. You go a little crazy in refinding your sanity, if that makes sense.
Yes, indeed.
You know, it's crazy.
Took a long way beyond expectations. Anyone could imagine. Love you.
See?
And a lot of that was because I had a lot of friends, man. Especially
Hell yeah.
Jim and Sandy were extremely good to me and took me to appointments and were always there for me. And you know, without the support of people like Sandy and Jim, and then my wife, of course, and then you helped me through this situation.
Sure. And let's not leave Chiselka out either.
Oh, look, I'm not going to say anything bad. Mike is a crazy person, and I think you know, there are a lot of things that him and I disagree on, but that guy was routinely at the hospital for me.
Yeah.
And he would bring me iced tea, and he would sit there and talk with me, and he was excited about doing his podcast. And you know, it's unfortunate it didn't work out, but it was a very big help.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people were.
And when you're on the other side of it, as you're getting to the other side, I'm sure you still have your moments, but
of course,
when you get to the other side of it, you really do appreciate how much everybody did. More not so much because you see what they did, although you do obviously, but because you see what the people you expected to do didn't. And that's probably the saddest part of the whole thing, is you go through a true life-changing make or break situation. You realize real quick who's all talk and who backs their bullshit. You know what I mean?
I have family members that didn't back their bullshit. So, Hey, look, Jim started a give, send, go fund for me and my family because I got fired like a month before all this happened to me. And he started to give, send, go. The radio station wouldn't do anything, wouldn't promote it even a little bit.
Right.
And so as much shit as, you know, we talk about like Rover and stuff like that, Jim called up Rover's show.
Okay.
And Rover let him on the air.
That's good.
And let him tell the story about me and what happened with me and everything else. And I will tell you what, if it wasn't for the people that donated to that fund, my family and I would have not had a place to live.
Right.
We would have been living with her mom or something like that.
Wow.
Because those people that listen to him and the friends and stuff that we have, but a lot of people that I didn't know.
Sure.
Donated money to that fund, and it helped us get through until I was able to get a job and get working again and get driving again and everything else. It was close. We were running out of that fund, and I kept looking for a job, and the state of Ohio sucks ass when it comes to trying to find you something or help you with anything. But if it wasn't for Jim and Sandy and that fund that was set up when I was in the hospital, forget about it.
Yeah, well, that's good.
We would have been homeless and begging for food.
Sure.
It was that bad.
Dude, I'll tell this story. And again, this is another one. It's in my book, but I will not say the guy's name, although his name is in my book. I will leave it there. When I got blown up, I was in a coma. You know, and needless to say, my wife, she wasn't worried about anything else except for me being in that coma at that time and trying to take care of my kids and whatever. But, you know, her only focus was on, am I going to wake up to a dead husband or a phone call for a dead husband? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was her only thoughts. So this one guy who literally was my best friend from the time we were about 2 years old. We were neighbors from the time we were 2, all the way, went through all school together, went through everything together. Even when I went to the military, we talked every single week, either talked or mailed or whatever, every single week. Best friend that I ever had at that point. He, without really working it out with my ex, organized a benefit at a bar, okay, to raise money for my family. So, do I know about this? No, I'm in a coma. And then when I woke up out of the coma, obviously that was not the thing that I was thinking of,
Yep.
So, do you remember Michael Satoni, Channel 5?
Remember the name, yes.
Yeah, he had a morning show on Channel 5, like Good Day Cleveland, or I don't remember what it was called, but he had a morning show on Channel 5. Somehow he got wind of my story, and he invited me to come on his show very early on. Like, I don't think I'd been out of the hospital 3 months or something. And he invited me to come on, and I was just a wreck. But I went on and I did his show. And super nice guy, did a really nice thing for me, gave out a phone number for people to donate. Same thing that like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the little piece that I did with Michael Satoni, I asked him if I could thank a couple people for all their help that they had given at the time. And I had a laundry list of people, the local churches, the local this guy, the local that guy, and the guy that came over and filled my car with gas and didn't charge Georgetta for the gas. All these people that did all these nice things, right? So I thank everybody, whatever. Maybe a day later, I get a phone call at the house. Now, again, I'm still going to rehab at the hospital every single day, 6 days a week. So it's not like I was back out in the community or whatever. I get this phone call. It's this guy, he owns a club over in Streetsboro. He reads me the fucking riot act. And I'm like, who are you? What do you want, right? And he goes, you could thank all these people for this, and that, but I donated $6,000 to you. And I was like, $6,000? What are you talking about? And this dude, I just was like, I apologized to him. I was like, dude, I didn't know, I was in a coma, I've had other things on my mind, blah, 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 right? So I asked my ex, I was like, do you know anything about this? And she's like, yeah, so-and-so said that he was going to do something, but I never heard anything else about it, right? Maybe an hour later, my phone rings. Hey, man, can I come by? I just want to see how you're doing. I'm like, yeah, come on by. So he comes over, and he's giving me you look so much better, and blah, 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 blah. And then he goes, we did this fundraiser for you. I don't know if you heard about it. And I was like, yeah, I heard something about it. And he's like, yeah, we raised $6,500 for you. $6,500. I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, but I didn't want to see it go to waste, so I invested it in a tire company. And I was like, yeah, really? And he's like, but I guess there's some confusion. And do you think you could call the owner of this club and tell him that I gave you the money? And I said to him, I'll tell you what, you go get me the stock certificate and bring it back here, and I'll tell him that it was just a misunderstanding. So he goes, okay. He leaves, comes back about 2 hours later, looks at me and goes, oh, dude, I lied. I just I needed the money, so I used it. And I was like, all right. And then he's like, but I need you to call this club owner and tell him that I gave you the money, because he's threatening to press charges and it'll be grand theft. It'll be a whole thing. So I did. Which is, I almost in a way regret it, kind of. Yeah. But I did. I called the club owner. I told the club owner, it was a mistake. It got lost in the slew of everything. And I actually ended up buying the club owner like a little plaque that he put up in his club until the club closed, saying thanks for, doing his shit. But
That's fine.
But at the end of it, so I hang up the phone and this guy was there and he's like, "Oh man, thanks so much, dude. I'm gonna get you that money. I'm gonna get you whatever." And I was like, "You know what, dude? Keep the money." I was like, "That's the price that you sold our friendship for. That's the price that you sold 26 years of friendship for. $6,500. Now get the fuck out of my house."
Man.
And I let him go, and I let it go. And the crazy part, I held on to that anger with no one's business, dude. Hung on to it. Got more and more bitter. Tried to forgive this guy. I called him up. I went through this period when I was going through my divorce where I just didn't want to be angry anymore. You know, I was trying to fix myself and trying not to be so pissed off. And he was one of the major things that pissed me off. Because, you know, like I said, he was like a family member. He was that kind of a friend. So I called him up, or I messaged him on Facebook, and I told him, I said, "Look, I want to put this in the past. I want to look you in the eye and tell you so, and all I want from you is, you know, an apology for this. I don't want the money. I don't want excuses. I just want an apology. You give me that, we can move on." You know, and I told him the truth. I said, "Man, I was supposed to be the fucking godfather to your kids. You know, I mean, I was really supposed to be part of your life. We were supposed to grow old together as buds, as brothers." And he's like, "Okay, I'll come over." So he comes over and would not give it to me. Wouldn't give me the apology. Comes over and has every excuse under the sun. "Well, you know, there was a guy and there was this money and I owed it and this." And I was like, and I told him once, I said, "Dude, I don't care." He's like, "Yeah, but I just want you to understand." I was like, "You know what, dude? Fine. Whatever. Fuck you. See you later." And I really haven't talked to him since, which really sucks because I'm really tight with his whole family. But sometimes you gotta cut people out of your life.
That's it.
It just sucks, and it really sucks when you can actually place what the value of your lifelong friendship was. $6,500. That just stinks.
Yeah, I've gotten rid of friends for a lot less than $6,500. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, and you can read all about that fun in my book. Call me Chris.
Oh, see, did you see the message from Gunner there on the side? I don't
No.
know if I don't want to put it up because I don't know if like it's a surprise or not, and if like, you know.
Oh, well, if she asked for it, I guess. He posted it in a public place. If she's watching, she could see it.
I guess.
Well, thank you, Gunner.
Yeah.
I'll put it. How's that? I'll put it that way.
There you go. Don't forget to order Chris's book. You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, here it is. There's my book. If you would like to get that book, that's what it looks like on Amazon. Go right ahead.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and actually the cover art is drawn by my daughter.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. That she drew that from her memory as a 4-year-old coming to the hospital to see me.
Wow.
It's a family affair here. It is pretty nutty.
Yeah, I don't think my daughter wants to ever draw a picture of what she saw when she went to the hospital.
Probably not, but I think I think you would be amazed. Not yet, but in about 2 years, if you just sit down with her one-on-one and ask her what she remembers.
Like she still gets very, very, very emotional when I like go to that, like where I went in the ambulance.
Right.
Which is the hospital right up here in like Broadview Heights area.
Okay, yeah.
Right by 77.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets emotional when I go there to like pick up medication. She doesn't want to be there. Like,
yeah.
That's where I was taken like originally when I left my house, when the ambulance took me. And I guess, you know, my wife and daughter both saw me like non-responsive. And
sure.
And before I got moved down to Metro in Tacoma and everything. But then also they saw what my remainder of my foot was looking like.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. And I think it was pretty shocking for
oh, yeah, I'll bet.
For my family. So.
Dude, look, everything about it is always shocking, dude. My My mom has told me horror stories about her coming into the room and me just, she's literally said to me, she's like, you just look like a pile of ground beef with eyes. Because I was so chewed up.
Well, Merry almost Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, well, hey, why not? Hold on, I'm going to bring one more picture up. Hold on. And it's a little gruesome, so you guys have the warning here that this one is a little tough, but here it is. So this, let me open image here. Let me pull this up. This is a picture. The first one is my arm. I don't know. Sometime right after I got smoked versus now. This is quite the fun shot. For me, it's a fun shot. For people, a lot of other people are horrified by it, but there you go.
Ho! Wow, dude.
That's a then and now, my friend.
Hey, you were, holy shit, dude.
Looks like a piece of barbecued chicken.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal. And that was me over, I was 69%, my friend.
Wow.
69%, 52% of it they scraped off with a scraper and put grafts on.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was an accident, my friend. It really was, but you know, you look at that and see horror. I look at that and I see, man, I am a tough son of a bitch.
Amen. No, I definitely look at that way too. No shit.
I look at it with absolute pride because I withstood what nobody has to withstand. And you should be the same way with your leg, dude. I mean, there's people that lose legs. There's people that get burned. But, man, to try and explain it to regular people who the biggest thing that they have in their life is their grandmother died or, you know, they lost their job or something, they don't understand, man.
I remember asking the doctor, I said, can I at least keep like the skin and have the tattoos? I spent like $1,000 on all those tattoos. I could at least frame the artwork.
Dude, I had that too on my right arm. I had I mean, it wasn't like unbelievably cool art or anything, but I had tribal art on my right arm. That's gone.
Oh.
That's just gone. I've thought about redoing it, and then I was like, yeah, I didn't like it that much anyway. It's cheaper than laser removal, I guess.
Yeah, well, mine, I guess they just toss in the garbage. I know. That's what I always wanted to know what they did with like the leg after they. What do they do? Just toss it in like a dumpster somewhere?
They probably some kind of medical waste facility somewhere. Same as they do with the needles and shit that go in that little thing.
I mean, I know I got my shoe back, which is, you know. Because I know I went in with 2 and then came out with minus a leg, but the shoe is still in my room.
Right.
All right. Let's. What do you got? More comments?
You want to shift to a happier topic?
Yeah, let's switch to happier topics. I'll put on the album cover of a.
Yeah, it was gruesome, that's for sure, but it was like a napalm. I mean, honestly, it was 7,200 pounds of molten copper, 1,500 degrees.
All right. Speaking of gruesome things,
yes,
awful, terrible things.
yes.
Sets up, throwing deep, Hail Mary, end zone, deflected, tipped and intercepted. Almost caught, and then a deflection into the hands of DeAnthony Bell. Darnell Mooney, achingly close to.
The record, I called that game, and they should have lost that game.
Should have, they didn't.
That guy had the ball in his hands, and you know, you guys can talk shit all you want. I see you and little, you know, John Frake, Bloom Doggy posting stuff about me, saying I can't call football games. That game was over.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, win.
I count that as a win for me.
Well, why would you count that as a win for you?
Because the guy had the winning.
He didn't catch it. He didn't catch it. Nobody cheated him on that one. It's not like there was a bad call. I would have more respect if he lost it because it was a bad call. He just plain dropped it. Why? Because the Bears aren't as good as the Browns. Simple as that.
So not true.
Simple as that.
Threw 3 interceptions. They lost half their team. The Bears controlled the entire game up until the fourth quarter. And now you're going to say that the Bears are worse.
They're not as good as the Browns.
They're worse.
The Bears are 5-9. The Browns are 9-5.
If it wasn't for rain, the
Rain.
Bears win that game.
It didn't rain for both teams. It only rained on the Bears.
It only rained when the Bears had the ball. I saw that.
Stop it.
I'm fairly sure that they were pumping rain onto the field when the Bears had the ball. I don't understand how you can call it that fair that they actually won that game.
I will say this in fairness, as much as I like taunting you with this shit,
Yeah.
I fell asleep through most of the second half of the game. I woke up and it was I woke up about three literal time, not stadium time, but maybe 3 or 4 minutes before they went up by 3. I mean, I literally slept through most of the third quarter and about 2/3 of the fourth quarter. I didn't see a whole lot of it. I watched it back since because I knew it was a win, but I didn't. I was sleeping. But
I pulled to you. I decided I was like, I got home because we went down to Columbus. We had to pick up our daughter and
right
down, spending some time with family and stuff. And I got home and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tired. We got up early to go down there. It was a long drive, whatever. There was a lot of rain and crap going on.
Right.
I was like, the Browns are getting the shit kicked out. It was like 17-7. I was like, they're not looking good at all. Joe Flacco looked like me out there throwing the damn ball. Well, everybody got hurt. I think the water boy got hurt for the Browns. Everybody was hurt. I was like, This game is gone. I was like, I'm just gonna take a nap. I wake up and they fucking won the game, and I was like, I immediately start looking up asparagus recipes
and looking at your phone to see which one of us texted you.
Yeah, because I was like, man, get the hell out of here. Finally, I'm going to be right. I could, leave some nasty message to John Drake and tell him, yeah, dude, see, they're not going to win another game. They win again. And if you missed it, the bet is if the Browns make the playoffs, I have to eat a pound of asparagus, which I've never tried.
Right.
Or if they don't make it, he's got to wear a Steelers jersey, and which I don't see is fair because I've been talking to people about asparagus. They said, one, it's going to make me have pee that smells funny.
Yes.
And then they said I'm going to be shitting all over the place.
Yes.
And, well, if I'm eating a pound of it, that means I'm going to miss work or something because I got to shit so much.
No, you'll eat it on the show. You'll have a full day to clean your system out, or half day. You might be tired at work the next day.
Does it really clean you out, though?
Not as bad as it's not a suppository, for God's sakes, but your system that doesn't have anything in it green ever, it might go right through. Your system will be like, what is this strange thing? I've never had a vegetable before. I like asparagus personally. Honestly, if it's cooked right and it has a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it, it's fucking good.
Well, see, I was looking up a recipe today and it says bake it in the oven 12 to 15 minutes. Make sure it's tossed in olive oil, some garlic, has some Parmesan cheese on it, and it's good to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how they make it in the fancy schmancy restaurants.
But your friend,
yeah,
he's not my friend anymore, is trying to say that it shouldn't be prepared like that. It should be prepared like raw or something like that, and I just have to eat a pound of it.
I think raw is not bad either, really, with asparagus. But
we didn't have that stipulation in the rules when we made this bet.
Well, maybe it can be half and half. You can eat some of it raw, and you can eat some of it prepared. That's a fair compromise. I mean, as long as he's not saying you gotta, dip it in horse shit or something, then whatever.
Well, that would be part of the bet. Seth is gonna be like a goose. The pea smell for sure.
Yeah, it does. It does give us a super enhanced iodine smell.
Is pea bad for diabetics? Is asparagus bad for diabetics?
I can't imagine it is.
It has to be. If it's a medical reason, I can't do it. There's too much sugar, I think, in asparagus.
Foods with little impact. Anyone with anyone with diabetes might be surprised to learn certain foods minimally impact sugar levels, including carrots. These are considered non-starchy, as are string beans, tomatoes, mushrooms, peppers, broccoli, asparagus, and cauliflower. And good in a diabetes diet. Sorry, you ain't winning that way, dude.
I think it said underneath, I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at, and it says underneath, amputees, though.
No, it does not say that.
Eat asparagus for fear that the limb can contract some sort of a...
Oh, and look, it also says, and radio hosts shouldn't eat it either because it might adjust their throat. Shut up.
Podcasters, no way. Eating asparagus because of...
It affects your eyes from the camera.
Yeah, throat infection.
Nope, you're doing this one, man.
Look, they're still not going to win another game, and they're not going to make the playoffs. So
they're going to win 2 more games, and they're going to be 11-6 for the season. 2 more wins.
So I just got an email. I'll sidetrack real quick. I've been trying to get a guest on the show for like 2 months.
Okay.
And literally, I've switched emails. I've tried like probably 10 different times to get a guest on.
Right.
And the guy finally emails me back and goes, I just want to say, Seth, I appreciate your persistence. So we will agree to the interview.
Oh, wow.
Thank
is
you.
it somebody that's worth the persistence?
Well, I mean, it is in the news world, but you know.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
But it's just one of those things that, like, I don't give up until you actually say no. If you say no, I'll stop bothering you.
Sure.
But until you say no, I'm going to get you.
Absolutely.
To commit or punch me in the face, one of the two.
Sure. Dude, since we're talking about your real job,
yeah.
Do you mind if I give a positive plug/review for your channel?
Yeah.
On the Roku channel. So, what is it, 529? Is that right?
529 on Roku.
Yeah. 529. I have Roku in the living room here.
Yes.
And the other night, in fact, it was last Wednesday after we did the show, because we had talked about Bob's show or whatever.
Right.
So I just logged into it to just kind of check it out, check out the channel, whatnot.
Right.
I log into it. I just put it on whatever was playing, like the channel, the 529. I didn't look up Bob's show specifically.
Yeah.
And I got hours worth, like 3 hours in a row of the Chris Hansen show.
Yes.
That show rocks. Let me tell you, it is so much better than To Catch a Predator was. The reason? Because they use real language. That is amazing. I was watching one. Hansen was sitting there talking to a guy that, I don't know if you've seen this one or not. So it was a big, fat, dorky looking dude. And he showed up and they let him in and then they bust him, right? The guy has, a 6-pack of Zima, condoms, lollipops, like every stereotypical thing you could think of this guy had with him, right?
Yes.
They sit him down. He, as casually as me and you are talking right now, admits that this would have been his 3rd girl under 15 that he banged. Just as casually as, oh yeah, she would have been my 3rd. So Chris Hansen is reading him the transcript. And that's where this show is unbelievable, because Hansen is reading it and he's like, and then you said to her, I want to fuck your prepubescent pussy. I mean, it was like, whoa. I was like, damn, this is like really hardcore. And Hansen was like, you're really fucking disgusting. And the guy's like, yeah, I know. I was fucking dying. I was laughing and I was horrified at the same time. And then at the end, this was the catch. So at the very end of this thing, they stand this guy up to arrest him, right? Yeah. Like they didn't, how usually they let him go to the other room and then the cops swarm on him?
Yes.
The cops didn't even give this guy that had admitted right there to Hansen that he had hooked up with 2 others. They didn't even let him get off the couch before they came in. This guy stands up. They're handcuffing him. The cop does one of these, looking him dead in the eye, and he goes, you know why you're under where did you get that necklace? And he goes, what? And he goes, where did you get that necklace? And he reaches and he pulls this necklace off this guy's neck. It was one of those broken heart necklace things. And the other half came from one of his Vicks.
Wow.
I was like, damn. And this guy wore it to the next girl's house.
That's so, yeah, I'm telling you, that show is.
I was like, God. I mean, I'm into some gruesome stuff, and I find humor in it, kind of. I mean, I don't really find humor like, ha ha, girls got raped, but I do find it sort of funny, and the way it's presented, I guess. And this one really had me looking at it, going, whoa. There's a real different level of deviant out there than I've ever seen before.
Oh, yeah, there is, man. There are some sick fucks out there. and it's great. Like, even on TikTok, they have like these pedophile whatevers that show up. There's videos on TikTok of these guys that pretend to be young girls or young boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they get these guys to meet them in a parking lot somewhere, and then they film them and put it on TikTok. And it's unbelievable. But the takedown on the True Blue Network with Chris Hansen is fucking, it's amazing.
It's unreal.
A lot of videos on there, man. If you subscribe to the actual channel, like $39 a month or whatever, they're all on demand. So you can just watch them whenever you want to watch them.
So there's what, a True Blue app, or is there a channel? Like, how would you get to it? How do you get to it?
Watch TrueBlue.com.
Okay, so you watch it on the web?
But no, it's like if you go to, it's an app, so you can get it for your TV and stuff like that.
Okay, for just so there's just a True Blue app for Roku. It's that you don't have to go in the Roku channel.
Right.
Okay.
And you can get the app for $4.99 a month, but then all the shows are like on demand.
All right.
So like, you can get the free stuff on Roku $5.29.
Right.
On TCL TVs or whatever it is. But then if you want everything like on demand, you can just get the $4.99 a month. There's a lot of content there. But like Bob already has over 20 shows we've done.
Okay.
One of the best ones is, I think, airing today on $5.29, but then it'll be on demand. And it's with Bernie Kosar.
Oh, nice.
And I'll tell you what, I've met Bernie 1,000 times.
Right.
Working with Triv and everything else. So I've met Bernie a lot.
Right.
And I was actually a young kid in Miami when Bernie played for the Hurricanes.
Sure.
I was at the fucking Boston College game where Doug Flutie threw the Hail Mary pass.
Right.
Beat Bernie. And then when Bernie came up here, my dad brought us up here for his job. And so
sure.
we were the Browns. But he was so candid and open about everything on this interview.
Okay.
There were times where literally I got like tears in my eyes listening to Bernie.
That's awesome.
Not only did Bernie get a bad rap, now look, Bernie admits to the stuff that he's done in the past, but you're talking about a guy that has had some head trauma like you can't believe.
Oh, yeah.
And the doctors even told this guy, you got to watch the interview, but the doctors even told him that he wasn't going to be able to form a sentence in like 5 years.
Wow.
And it's almost that now. But he's doing some stuff now that's really helping him, and it's great. But it's a really open, candid interview with Bernie that I was just sitting in a room watching. And I was taking pictures and stuff, but I was sitting there watching, and I was taken back by some of the stuff that he was talking about. And it was so cool to hear some of the insight of like Bernie, how he played the game.
Sure.
And like how and some of the coaches, what they were telling him, what he could and couldn't do. It's a really great interview. So if you get a chance, watch it.
I will. I'll check that out. Absolutely.
Because that was one of my favorite ones. Not because it's just Bernie, but because of how open he was.
Sure. I love that.
Hey, Rick. Not really funny.
I think it's hilarious.
I don't think it's all that funny, to be honest with you.
I think it's 8 quarters away from happening.
Yeah. There's no way. They're going to lose both games. And who has to overtake them? Cincinnati's going to overtake, the Browns.
Cincinnati's 2 back with 3 to play.
They're going to win out, and one of those games is against us.
Cincy is 2 back with 3 to play. They're not overtaken.
There are plenty of scenarios where the Browns will not make the playoffs, and that's what's going to happen.
Can we at least be happy that the Steelers officially suck?
I'm happy about the Steelers sucking.
I'm happy about that.
I'm not happy about trying to shovel a pound of fucking asparagus in my mouth, though.
I'm telling you, you're probably going to like it.
There's no way.
You're going to like it. It's not bad. If you don't psych yourself out, it's really not bad.
I was talking to some guys at work today, and one of them is Greek. And he was talking about a Greek salad.
Yeah.
Now, I said, well, what kind of lettuce do you use? And apparently there's no lettuce in a Greek salad. I didn't know there was such a thing as a salad with no fucking lettuce.
Yeah, it's got that leafy, was that like spinach leaves or something in it?
No, there's no lettuce at all. It's just tomatoes, cucumbers, feta cheese, olives. Yeah. And I said to him, I've never tried any one of those things like on their own. Like I've never had an olive. I've never had a chunk of tomato without it being ketchup or sauce. I've never had feta cheese, and I've never had a cucumber.
I don't know how you've gotten to be almost 50 years old and never had any of this stuff.
And so they both stared at me like you just did, going, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, well, I've never tried it. I've never had any of those things.
So you never had even like pasta salad either?
Well, I've had pasta salad, but I don't eat
that usually has mushrooms in it. And
I like mushrooms.
Or olives, I mean. Not mushrooms.
But I
pick them out?
I'll eat the pasta, like little spirally noodle things with some kind of sauce on it, but they scrape all the other junk off of it.
Right.
Like a tomato, or if there's like an olive or something like that. Like, what's in pimento cheese?
I don't like that. I don't know what's in it, but whatever it is, it's gross. It's like, because you're biting into something with one texture, and then you get into something with another texture in the middle.
My mom, when I was a young kid, accidentally bought pimento cheese, and I put it on
it's olives.
And I bit into it and I spit it out. So if that counts as tasting an olive, maybe I have. But I didn't eat it because I spit it out.
Pimento cheese. Let's see I don't know what is in it. Peppers. Pimento cheese is made with cheddar cheese, pimento peppers, and mayonnaise. Yeah, I don't like that either.
I've never had... I've had diced peppers that happen to be like in a sauce or something like that. But I've never had like a sausage with like peppers and onions and stuff. I've never had like a caramelized onion.
You just don't like green anything.
Well, onion's not green, is it?
Well, pepper is. Green or red.
They have red peppers? I've never had those. I've never had like a full piece of a pepper. Or like an onion. The closest I've gotten to having an onion is... the diced ones on a McDonald's cheeseburger.
That's hilarious.
And I used to scrape those off, but for some reason, now as I got older, I seemed to like those a little bit, so I'd leave some of them on. I'd scrape half of them off and eat some of them.
Yeah, pound is a little bit.
Well, how many stalks, that's what they're called, right? Stalks?
Yeah, like a stalk of,
Like how many stalks of asparagus is a pound, you think?
Maybe 300. I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm 20? 20 maybe?
That's a lot of asparagus, man.
Well, let's see what the old Google machines says. How many stalks of asparagus in a pound? 14 to 18 per pound.
Man,
that's enough to serve a family of 4 to 5.
Oh, Jesus.
Sounds good. It's a good dinner for you.
Man.
Hey,
I'm telling you, there's too much sugar or something in asparagus.
There's not.
Never get the peppers and onions on the Italian sausage sandwich.
I just clicked a link that says asparagus, the king of vegetables.
So do you get pepper? I mean, are you a pepper and onion guy? Are you a big vegetable guy?
I do not like onions, and I am allergic to black olives. But any other thing, dude, if I go to Subway, it makes them crazy because they got to use 2 papers to wrap it because I load up on all of the tomatoes and the lettuce and the peppers and the, everything that they can put on it except for the onions. I load up on it. I love it. I do like vegetables a lot, actually. I don't eat them enough. I need to eat them more, but the problem with buying those things is that they go bad real fast.
I'm looking up 9 health benefits of asparagus. Asparagus can help with weight loss.
Look at that.
Asparagus helps prevent UTIs.
That's good.
So I won't have a urinary tract infection. That's good. It's full of antioxidants.
See?
Contains vitamin E.
See?
Promotes reproductive health.
Look at that. New kid on the way.
Great for gut health, which means I'm going to shit all over the place. Rich in folic acid. And full of vitamin K. All right, I found a problem.
What?
Well, my regimen of vitamins is vitamin E and folic acid. So I think that I would probably OD on vitamin E.
No, you'll be fine.
Which would cause severe health issues for me.
No, you'll be fine for one day. Dr. Chris has spoken.
I'm assuming the rest of that's good, though. Wait, essential nutrient for blood clotting and healthy bones.
Look at that. It's all good. It's the king of vegetables, just like we said.
Is it good to eat asparagus every day? See, that would be... I'm eating the equivalent of like 5 days of asparagus.
Okay, but it's only for 5 days.
It can be eaten every day. Fuck.
Oh, darn.
This asparagus is superfood. It's bright green veggie packed with vitamins and minerals like... Okay. I have an iron deficiency, so it has iron in it too. Fuck, man, there's not a damn thing wrong with asparagus.
It's the perfect food for you.
Hey, how many stalks of asparagus should you eat a day? Only 6 spears. See?
That should. You're just going to eat a little more.
Bodybuilders improve. It improves blood flow to working muscles. So
see, I'll tell you what. When you do the asparagus, I'll have some asparagus too.
I should probably chow down on asparagus. Actually, it looks like it's really, really good for you.
It's totally good for you, and it really doesn't taste that bad. It's not like you're going to be biting into like lemons or something. And yeah, Brian, that is why I go to Subway to support Jared. That's exactly why.
I go to Subway a lot, and I took a walk with Jared.
Look at that. And you've resisted the urge to rape kids, right?
I did.
How'd that happen?
I was slightly insulted after our walk because he didn't try anything on me. Apparently, I wasn't young enough.
Yeah, apparently. Did you see that documentary on him that came out like a year ago? Jesus. No. What a creep.
He was pretty bad.
Oh, my God. Well, they have dude, the thing that always surprises me is how much audio and video they always have of these guys doing wrong shit. So they're doing this documentary on Jared, and they got all these voicemails of him going, "Hey, do you think you could bring that 9-year-old Marcia to my house for a dinner?" It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Sick fuck.
Avocado. Sandy says avocado.
Yeah, avocado's another good one. I don't like the taste of avocado, though, personally.
But is that guacamole? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I've never had that. Studies have shown that avocados can help people manage their diabetes, improve overall health.
Not like an asparagus, though, apparently.
Why is all this stuff like good for you? Like, is there anything that tastes good that's actually good for you? Why doesn't cheeseburgers have like good health benefits?
Because it's good. Because it's
like
it tastes good.
If God was nice, fried chicken would have all the health benefits that asparagus has.
Look, being healthy is supposed to be a challenge, and part of that challenge is you have to avoid anything that tastes good.
Look, eating healthy is too expensive.
That is true.
I can't afford to go to Whole Foods and buy my shit there because it's too expensive.
That is true. I agree with you. That's why I'll never be ripped again.
I agree with Scott. Eating just 6 of them would be impressive to see.
Well, then you're going to be super impressed when he eats 3 times that, Scott.
By the way, most likely the Browns will make the playoffs when we won't be on the air. So this is good. Everybody will forget about the bet by the time we come back.
Oh, I can assure you we won't forget.
We're going to be taking a few shows off. There will be best ofs, though.
There will be.
Best ofs.
All the Chiselka stuff.
All the Chiselka stuff you can handle. But me screaming and yelling.
Yeah, no, I put together some best ofs, and they're pretty fun. I tried to pick more fun segments and, bigger guests and stuff like that. So.
What if I did that? Put it in a blender and drink it.
I guess somehow, some way I became the judge on this, right?
Well, I mean, I guess putting it in a blender, that might be nastier than actually eating it.
Yeah, because if you got to drink it like a shake. Dude, here's what you do. I mean, not to make this an easier thing or nothing, but I'll tell you how you do this. You have these things here, and then you have something that you really, really like there as well. So you eat like 6 asparagus, and then maybe, I don't know, a chocolate chip cookie or something. So that you just wash it down.
All right, here's the deal. I'm usually a man of my word, usually.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like I would be kind of welching on the bet by not at least doing it the proper way. Now, I'm not saying eating it raw or something stupid like that, but I think for the first time having asparagus, having it prepared a little bit would be a good thing. But I think if I have cheese sauce all over it with steak next to it, it's probably not going to be much of a fair bet for me to do.
No, but you could I'm telling you, dude, do you like Parmesan cheese?
I do.
If you do it just the way most people do it, which is a little bit of olive oil or vinegar or something, not vinegar, but a little bit of oil, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and you oven bake it, you'll like that. I'm not saying drown it in Parmesan cheese, but you just give it a light dusting. That's all you got to do, and you'll be fine with it.
Yeah, this is probably just dip them in ranch. I could do that.
Yeah, but okay, then why not just give you a bottle of ranch to drink then?
God, that would be so great. That would be like my ultimate fantasy. I would bathe in ranch.
I like ranch. I like blue cheese a little better though.
I never had blue cheese.
How could I'm not even gonna ask.
What do you mean?
How do you never have blue cheese? You eat wings.
Is it with ranch?
But you never tried it with blue cheese or any other dip.
Never tried it with anything else.
No other dip ever.
I mean, I've had different sauces, but I've never had another dip. No, I've never had blue cheese. Blue cheese is moldy cheese, right?
Well, so maybe, I guess.
I wouldn't even touch that stuff.
It tastes good.
What is it? It has to taste like moldy cheese.
No, it doesn't taste like mold. It doesn't taste like mold. It's got just a little bit of bite to it.
A bite?
Yeah, it's got a little texture, a little thick little bite to it. It's good.
What does blue cheese taste like? There it is. Blue cheese tastes like shit. That's what it says.
It does not say that.
It says most blue cheeses will taste salty, bright, and a bit funky or earthy.
Yeah.
Ugh. That sounds terrible.
It's good. I like me some blue cheese.
Yeah, never tried blue cheese, ever.
It's good stuff.
Ranch, though. We belong to Costco.
Mm-hmm.
And it's these ranch bottles that are literally like a foot tall.
Right.
3 of them for $8. And that's the only condiment that we run out of. We got 2 bottles of ketchup a year and a half ago. They're still in the cupboard. The ranch. And we got to go get some more ranch, honey.
Jesus Christ. What do you put it on? Everything? I'm going to have some cereal before we put some ranch on it.
Well, because there's not a lot of sugar in the ranch.
Right.
There's a lot of sugar in ketchup. And
so really the only thing you've ever tasted in your life is ranch dressing.
I used to eat the shit out of ketchup.
How about barbecue sauce?
A lot of sugar in barbecue sauce. I used to eat barbecue sauce a lot, but not anymore.
Okay.
But the ranch, now I got to find fat-free ranch is probably the better bet for me. But.
See, I don't like the fat-free ranch on like dressing. Like if you put like on a salad.
Yeah.
It always tastes like gasoline to me.
Huh.
It has like a funk to it because of that fat-free. It's like, again, just like you were saying, put back in the shit that makes it terrible for you, and I'm all in. Yeah, because I'm shocked. I'm legitimately shocked.
How could you? Wait,
that you're
never had blue cheese either.
How can that be?
What else do you put blue cheese on other than fucking
wings?
And that's
salad.
It. What's wrong with ranch on the same thing?
Nothing's wrong with it. But who eats the same exact wings with the same exact topping every time?
Why would you purposely ingest mold into your system?
Do you get different kinds of wings?
Yes.
So you'll get barbecue one day and like honey mustard or whatever. Not honey mustard, but whatever, the dry rub the next time and super hot the next time or whatever. Will you do that or no?
I mean, I used to, but now there's a lot of the sauces that have like a lot of sugar.
So what kind of wings do you get now?
I'm allowed to have hot wings. So I can eat like mild, medium, hot. I can eat that kind of stuff, or I can eat garlic parmesan.
Okay.
But I stay away from stuff like barbecue, teriyaki, stuff that has a lot of sodium or sugar in it. Which kind of sucks because wings are like my favorite food, like of all time.
Boy, they are.
But they're expensive.
They're expensive as fuck now, dude.
I'll tell you what. There's a place in North Royalton. I know you're forever today from North Royalton, but
yeah,
it's called Mama Julienne's. They have one in Strongsville. They have one in North Royalton, and $13 for a dozen wings, and they're fucking huge.
Jeez, that would be beautiful.
I mean, they're literally like a meal for just 12 wings. Right. They're huge. They're meaty, they're big, and yeah, they're really, really good. You got to go there.
Dude, we used to...
Let's hear. Blue cheese is mold. Bottom line, blue cheese is made using a type of mold called penicillium, which is responsible for its taste, smell, and appearance. Unlike other types of mold, the types do not produce mycotoxins.
See?
And are considered safe to consume.
See?
Look, just because it's safe doesn't mean I'm going to eat mold.
It's safe. It's a safe flavor provider.
Okay. Yes, we went through this on Wednesday. WTM is going to be playing Best of Triv on Christmas Day because they have a scumbag management team who wanted to get rid of Triv altogether, didn't care about Triv, didn't care about playing his stuff, had me delete his audio and distanced themselves, didn't want his callers on the air anymore. In fact, banned them from calling in ever again. And now, for whatever reason, they decided that they're going to go ahead and play Best of Triv on Christmas Day. You know why? Because they're two-faced lying sacks of shit, and that's what they're going to do during Bloom Daddy. That, and also, there is no best of when it comes to the afternoon drive show that there is now, so they have to find something good to put on the radio. Unfortunately, you won't hear any of me on any of those clips, I guarantee you that, because I know who's putting it together.
Well, might I suggest nobody listens?
Yes. We'll have best of here on that Monday as well.
That's right.
So what were you saying? I'm sorry, moldy wings. You were talking about
wings? No, with wings here in town, there's really only one place to get wings that are good, which is the Pizza Hut. And Pizza Hut does do good wings.
Right.
I don't want to besmirch them. Their wings are excellent. But to get 36 wings, which would be enough for me and my kid plus some for the next day.
Yeah.
$89.
Oh, forget about it.
$89.
I tried a restaurant your neck of the woods. It's a little bit close to you. I think it's close enough to you to get food from. But I thought it was really good food. The Basement.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's 2 minutes from my house.
Fucking good food, man.
Yeah, they have good food.
It's a nice bar, restaurant kind of area thing, and I like their food.
Yeah. They didn't like me a whole lot during COVID because I kept coming in there and I wouldn't wear a mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had the girl that would open the door and politely remind you to put a mask on. And I not so politely told her to go fuck herself every time. She's like, Could you kindly put on a mask? Fuck no. Right past. Wasn't playing that game.
I mean, it's a good atmosphere at that place, and
it is.
I like it because any of their sandwiches you can like make into a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the bread is like huge. So I'd rather eat just as wrap, and it's really good. Heather gets a salad out there too that she loves. It's like a seafood kind of thing.
Yeah, I like the basement. That's a good place.
That's not bad out there.
Cottage cheese. I know that's a no for you.
I've never tried that.
Of course you haven't.
Look, if it looks like something I'm not gonna like, I don't try it.
You don't like milk either, do you?
I love milk.
Do you really? But you don't like blue cheese or cottage cheese or?
I like 2% milk. I won't eat or drink whole milk, and I won't eat fat-free milk. Fat-free milk tastes like shit to me.
Yeah.
Whole milk makes me throw up. 2% milk is all I can.
I do 2%. The whole milk you can just taste the processing.
Yeah, it's thick.
Yeah. it's almost a milkshake.
Yeah.
If it sits in your fridge too long, it is a milkshake.
I love my wife, but that's one thing that bothers me is the milk situation.
She lets it go bad?
Because if you open up the fridge, there's like 4 or 5 like jugs of milk in there. Because she likes to eat cereal a lot.
Right.
And so she gets a jug of milk for her cereal, bro. And then next thing you know, she's like buying another thing. Well, I didn't know if I had any more. Okay. And then she starts the new one, and the other one sits in the fridge. Now, I'm not drinking the milk, and so the milk just sits there. Until I say, hon, there's like 4 things of milk in here. Which ones are good? I don't know.
Look at the dates.
I didn't buy the milk. I'm not drinking the milk. So tell me which ones to throw out.
And milk's not one of them things that you could just combine it either.
No.
Because you don't know when it expires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that she does that cracks me up, and I love her so much, but she makes me laugh with. No, my daughter's really bad about this.
Right.
They think that if there's a date on it, that the next day, that means it's bad.
Yeah, right.
So if there's a pack of cookies or whatever it is, and it says the date is today, December 18th.
Right.
That means tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Can't eat that.
December 19th,
right.
You can't eat that anymore. We have to throw it out.
Right.
No.
Yeah. Hey, it's 11 o'clock. We better eat this before it goes bad in an hour.
Usually there's a suggested date or a sell-by date or something because they want to get it out of the store.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that the very next day stuff anymore.
But milk is tricky, though, dude, because occasionally, if you go that one extra day with milk, you will get something that just tastes like it came out of a fucking cow's ass.
It could be, but generally speaking, the date that's on these products is not meant to say the next day you have to throw it out.
Yeah, if it was, it would say throw away by.
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't say sell by.
You don't know how many hundreds of dollars we've probably thrown out of stuff that expired the next day in the garbage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it.
We haven't taken a break tonight.
No, God, we haven't. Got an hour and a half or hour 15.
So let's do that, and we'll wrap things up shortly here.
Okay, cool.
All right?
All right.
Hang on.
There's no place like home, and whether it's furniture, artwork, home accessories, appliances, or that one-of-a-kind collectible, Yellow Brick Road Online Auctions allows you to find everything you need from the comfort of your own home. The owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions has been conducting online estate auctions for over 8 years by providing homeowners with a stress-free process to liquidate all items that have accumulated over the years.
I'm Melissa Mendici, owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions. Log on today to find your heart's desire.
Does your company need fresh teas? Have you paid an arm and a leg for the ones you have? Worried about poor quality when you pay less? Stop worrying, Northeast Ohio, and visit us at www.wctees.com. At Wolf Creek Media, we're family owned, we offer simple pricing, and we're fair and honest. We even have an in-house graphic designer and cover all your apparel needs. So if you need t-shirts, hoodies, banners, or any other type of printing, call us at 330-353-9695 or visit us at WCTEES.com. That's WCTees.com, a proud sponsor of the Seth Williams Show.
everybody, it's Dundalk, and when I'm feeling nostalgic, I always go to Pinball PA. You gotta go check it out. It's a lot of fun.
When you want to have fun in Pennsylvania, there's only one place to go, Pinball PA. Located near the Pittsburgh airport, we have over 420 classic pinball machines and arcade games that you can play. Admission starts at only $24.99. Want to have a party? Well, there's no better place than Pinball PA. Visit our website today at www.pinballpa.com to get more information or to book your next small or large party. Pinball PA. It's where the action is.
KRFK Radio has the best hard rock and metal on the planet. Featuring Joe Elliott, Def Leppard vocalist and host of the Joe Elliott Radio Show.
Are you serious?
Eddie Trunk, host of the biggest metal programs ever on radio and MTV. Charlie Kendall, creator and host of Metal Shop.
For adults only.
Dee Snider, Twisted Sister vocalist and host of the House of Hair.
Any questions?
Ron Keel, the Metal Cowboy, Ron Keel Band vocalist and host of Streets of Rock and Roll. And boss of this here outfit. L.A. Lloyd, host of the Rock Countdown.
And here comes the best part.
The Classic Metal Show with Neely and Chris Aiken. And Hairball John.
Am I on the air?
Together, they reach all, and I mean all, hard rock and heavy metal fans. And you can only find them all together here on KRFK Radio.
Right back here, the Seth Williams Show with Chris Aiken.
I see Billy Morris has checked in, asking when are we having the asparagus feast on your post on Facebook.
Yeah.
He's ready to prep it.
If he can make it, then I'll eat it. I'm sure that it'll be
it'll be good. I'm sure.
Tasty if he does it. Yeah. Your friend John Drake posted something today saying that when was the last time Seth got a football game right, and then you had to chime in with your little hatred towards me as well.
Come on, that's just the title of the video. Could have been anything.
Yeah, could have been anything.
Could have been anything.
You could have just titled it Seth is a dick and doesn't know football, but I guess this was better.
It was. I just put a question out there. I didn't answer it.
If you don't admit, and see, we're going to wrap things up shortly because we decided that as we head into the new year, 5:30 is the better stopping time for
yes.
the show.
2 hours too long.
Yeah, so, but you have to admit that this team has been the luckiest friggin' team of any football team in the NFL.
And in a history that has had no luck in it for the last 40 years, I'll take it. It's our turn.
Stefanski's a terrible coach. He's flipping the ball to people in the stands for reverses.
Dude, I don't disagree, nor do I care. It's working.
Joe Flacco had 3 interceptions. 3! And I like that guy. But 3 interceptions, they still win that game. We have no running game. Nick Chubb is on the sideline, looks like me, missing a leg. And it's unbelievable how this team manages to keep winning. Now, they don't have a shot as hell in the playoffs. You know that, right?
They said, during the game, they said that 26% of the team's salary cap is on IR. 26%. I was like, damn, that's a lot of injuries. Yeah, dude, I'm not even worried about the playoffs. I just want to see them get to the playoffs. If they get to the playoffs, whatever happens, happens. I mean, dude, the Bills are not as good as the Browns by record, but I sure as hell wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs. If it's Browns-Bills in the first round, I think we're dead.
Look, I called it that Aaron Rodgers is going to be ready to play come
I don't think they're going to suit him up, though.
But I don't think they will now that they lost the other day. So,
yeah,
if they won that game and playoffs were on the line for them?
If the playoffs were on the line, I could see it. But dude, if he goes out there and Myles Garrett snaps his Achilles again, I mean, you will have a mutiny in there in New York. People go and loot the stores. Oh, sorry, they already do that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what teams you'd want to face in the playoffs. You don't want to face the Ravens. You don't want to face.
I wouldn't mind facing the Ravens. I'm not afraid of the Ravens. Are you afraid of the Ravens?
Yes.
We beat the Ravens.
I'm trying to look at AFC playoffs. Picture 2023. I'm trying to think of who all the teams are. I'm trying to look here. All right, playoff picture. And I know it's going to give me a bunch.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not afraid of Kansas City.
Bengals.
Not afraid of them.
Ravens, no.
Not afraid. The Ravens are 50-50. Same with the Bengals. And I think we should beat the Bengals without Joe Burrow.
So let's see here. Dolphins.
That's a tough game.
Chiefs.
Not afraid of the Chiefs this year.
Jaguars already beat them. Bengals, not too afraid. Colts should have lost that game.
But didn't. And the Colts, I mean, you don't feel like it's an automatic Colt win.
No.
They just lost Jonathan Taylor yesterday.
Bills, I think the Bills would crush them.
I think the Bills are tough. The Bills, I mean, they slaughtered Dallas yesterday. Slaughtered them. The Bills could be really but they're another team. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. Sometimes, what's his name? The quarterback, Josh Allen, sometimes he throws 3-4 interceptions a game.
All right, so the Browns are 5th right now.
Yeah.
And we still have, the Bengals and the Texans.
We should beat the Texans.
So the Texans will beat the Browns this week in Houston. That puts them at 9-6.
They don't even know for sure that Stroud's going to be back.
So that be the head-to-head, and then the Bengals will beat the Browns. So the Browns will finish at
11-6.
No, they'll finish at 9-7.
No, they're not.
And they will be.
That would be 9-8. There's 3 more games.
Oh, who else they play?
I don't know.
Oh, the Jets. That's right, the Jets.
They'll beat the Jets.
So the Browns will finish at 9-8.
They're not going to finish at 9-8. They already got 9. You think they're going to lose the last 3?
Lose the last 3, and they will be eliminated from the playoffs.
You are nuts. Mary Kay Cabot came out and said the Browns could beat anybody in the NFL.
What the hell does she know about football? She's a woman.
She knows. She knows everything. In this case, she knows everything.
Yeah, she knows everything. We used to joke about it all the time on the Trip Show. Well, the Browns might. They could be.
Yeah.
So someone said
she's not exactly the most decisive reporter known to man. What's her name? The other one with the weird name is way better. Aditi Kikawala or whatever her name is.
I thought Mary Kay Cat was kind of hot back in the day. I don't know if she is now. I haven't seen a recent picture of her.
Whatever.
I think my dad knew her, so I don't want to say that she's way hot.
It's not your real mom, is she?
No.
Just asking.
Seth, we were going to the playoffs. You wait and see. Go, Brent. We're not going to the playoffs.
And there goes Seth. He did say his internet was going to go bad today. That is for sure. Well, there you are.
I hit the button on the mouse that takes me out of the studio.
Oh, I thought maybe your internet finally did cave out.
No, the internet's fine. I just hit there's a button on the right-hand side of this mouse. It's so fucking stupid. The guy at True Blue must have the same kind of mouse because there's been a couple of times where all of a sudden, Bob's out of the studio. We're like, what happened?
Yeah, nice.
This is a stupid button. I don't know why they do that. Stop being negative. The Browns will win and go to the playoffs.
See? Browns are winning.
This is like Gunner said, let's see if I can do this without hitting the button. This is like the Indians. That said they sucked and went to the World Series. Please keep saying they suck. Look, I was fairly right on the Indians most of the time.
Well, they're a winning team the last 10, 15 years.
Okay, so I was wrong on like 8 of them. But most of the time, the other times I was right.
It's too bad they retired.
So yeah, Seth was going to be right about something. Internet going out. Wrong again. Come on.
Too funny.
I think I've been right on majority of stuff. I may have miscalculated the luck that this team was going to have. And honestly, let's be realistic. My original prediction for this Browns team was based on the fact that we had Deshaun Watson. If we had Deshaun Watson, this team would have won 80 games.
They were 5-1 with him.
They would have won 5 games with Deshaun Watson.
They were 5-1. If he was still on the team, they would have probably won 3 of the games that they lost.
That would have been the only 5 games that they won if it was.
You're nuts. You just want them to suck. You want them to suck. You want to be the hated Cleveland guy.
No, I don't want to be a hated Cleveland guy. I want to be realistic with our audience.
You're Colin Cowherd. I get it.
The realistic facts are that we live in Cleveland and they're going to falter, and this team will not make the playoffs.
This is our year, man. Super Bowl.
We've wasted a lot of time talking about asparagus because it ain't going to happen.
Super Bowl. To quote our friend Ken Carmen, Super Bowl, Super Browns.
That's so gay. Why would you? I mean, it's so stupid. Why would you even say something like that?
Because Ken Carmen, he's making it a thing.
Is he really?
Dude, how did he become a TV guy?
I don't know. We should be TV guys if he's a TV
guy. I'm watching. I was watching whatever yesterday, the football. I'm watching football, and at some point, hey, I'm Ken Carmen, and I used to be a Grinch about Christmas, but now that I have a kid, I'm not anymore. It's like this big long commercial for Ken Carmen, and wow. I was like, how did Ken Carmen, a guy who's a big heavy guy like me and you, how does he get to be on TV?
Yeah, we got to work something out because that's not right.
I thought fat guys were banned from the TV.
No, see, that's the problem. Is that now I think that the tide is turning on being fat because now people can't be mean and they can't say nasty things to you. So it has to be an accepting kind of thing. Now people have to accept you if you're, slow and fat and stupid and all that kind of stuff. They got to.
See, I think you don't think that you're still allowed to fat shame?
No, I don't think
fat shaming is still the thing that I see the most of. People they don't want to say, oh, you're a tranny or oh, you're gay or whatever. But God knows people would say, listen, you fat tub of shit, move it.
I don't think you can fat shame us, but I don't think you can fat shame like a girl. Fat shaming
you can't do anything to a girl. Can't even call her a girl.
Right. So I think fat shaming a girl is out of the question. But I think you and Ken Carmen maybe he's a girl. But
maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, for some reason, he's made it as a fat guy on TV, and I don't understand why.
Hey, I say good for him.
I mean, I like listening to Ken Carmen. I think he's pretty good on the radio and stuff.
I hate his co-host, but I like Ken.
Who's his co-host?
Anthony Lima.
I've talked to him. He was nice to me and everything. I mean, I don't have any issues with those guys.
He's a young Chiselka in training.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I don't know his politics. So.
Well, he makes them very clear on the morning show.
Well, I'd love to be on that and give my opinions on some stuff. Maybe make sports a little bit more interesting if there's a different opinion on.
Well, Carmen doesn't seem to be a total libtard.
I don't know either one of them personally. I've talked to Anthony Lyman, who was nice to me, but I've talked to Ken Carmen. I'm assuming he's a nice guy.
I don't know either of them either. I just listen. I get the podcast on my phone, and when I'm in the mood for local sports, I listen to it.
I have nothing bad to say about Ken, other than the fact that I'm jealous of the fact that he's like 500 pounds and he has a TV thing, and we don't. So.
Yeah, and he gets to present his family, he had his kid on the commercial and everything. I was like, Jesus, when did he become hometown hero?
Fat shaming is big.
Ken could lose it all if he just had one Holly Strano moment and crashed his car, though.
That's awful. I haven't heard what happened to her. Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
I don't know, but did you read the comments on our video from Holly Strano? Jesus.
Are they pretty rough?
Oh, boy. The basic consensus is if I did the same thing she did, I'd go to jail. And there's another, I was reading some Yahoo comments because it made national news.
Yeah.
And boy, they hate her.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, I don't know who this person is, but she's a bitch. I was like, wow. I was like, you guys don't even know her.
But see, that's what happens when you can afford like an attorney that's like $10,000 an hour.
Yeah.
You get off easily on something like this. Now I don't know if she's going to keep her job, and I'm still like debating whether I want her to lose her job. Personally, I mean, she fucked up. She could have killed somebody.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Yeah.
And if it was the first time she had a problem, I don't know. I mean, she made a bad choice.
She did. Well, she didn't make a bad choice. She broke the law. Let's stop with the bad choice. A bad choice is a bad choice is 0.09. That's I had that third glass of wine and I maybe shouldn't have drove, but I did. She was 0.24 or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, that is like a whole fifth of vodka. She was fucked.
Yeah,
Totally hammered.
It might be because she's hot that I'm kind of like leaning towards, give her a break. But
well, yeah, that's the reason we want to give her a break, because she's hot and big boobs. We like it.
Yeah, we watched that video. Did you watch the entire 40-minute video?
I did. I watched the whole thing, and I wanted to smash her in the head.
She's a mess. She was a mess.
Because she kept with I'm on the TV or I'm on the news. Yeah, it's like, stop. Yeah, and every time she said that, that's when I wanted to throw the book at her. Because stop with you're more important. Why? Because you fucking tell people that it's going to snow tomorrow? Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know. She did break the law.
She was horrifically hammered. I will say she handles her alcohol well, though.
She does, man. I'm telling you. Because for being like quadruple the limit, she was handling herself pretty good, man.
Yeah, and she wasn't as stumbly as I would have thought for some.
No.
At 0.24, when she was doing the drunk walk and stuff, she really was. It's not like she was falling over.
But I'm sure it sobers you up pretty quick when you flip a car and crash into a pole and a hydrant and all that kind of stuff. You get sobered up real quick.
Yeah, I probably do.
But
But
those cops' lights are shining in your face and everything.
yeah, you probably do. But dude, on a good day without a drink, I would have trouble walking that walk.
See, I remember I made a bad choice. Yeah, I made plenty of bad choices, but I broke the law, and I was driving home one night, and my hood from my car went straight up into the windshield.
Right.
I couldn't see anything. I was on the highway. I was doing 80, and a hood from my car went right into the windshield, smashed the glass, and I couldn't see anything because the hood was up.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Probably true.
But I got off the highway, and I had to limp my car from Westlake all the way to almost downtown Cleveland to home. And I passed two cops that were sitting in the park on the road.
Right.
And they didn't stop me, thank God. But I'll tell you what, as soon as that windshield hit the damn, or the hood hit that windshield, man, I sobered up like you can't believe. All of a sudden, I was perfect and sober.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, dude, again, I don't want to see anybody lose their gig. I honestly, I hate if she did it in the Channel 3 news she's on Channel 3, right?
Yeah.
She did it in the Channel 3 news wagon or something. Okay, then she loses her job. Coming home from a Thanksgiving dinner, as long as she didn't show up late for work the next day, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, I made bad choices and I've learned from those choices, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't drink at all. But
yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of what you do in your personal life affects your business life. I think that's ridiculous, unless it directly affects your business life.
Right.
And I guess with Holly, maybe in some way it would. Just because the station now has the reputation of hiring that drunk chick that got away with the crime.
You have to remember, when you're in the media like that, not people some dumbass like me who's doing radio for 25 years and just a jackass. But when you're a person that people rely on, whether it's news or for their weather and stuff like that, people look to her for to be that person that they rely on, and then they see a choice like that.
Yeah.
It does affect the standing of the radio station and of her credibility, to be honest with you.
Well, it does. I mean, dude, just think of the little things that she probably can't say anymore, just given the weather.
Yeah.
She can't say, "I better be careful out there. You'll be slipping and sliding on the roads." Because your first thought is what? Just like you did.
Just like you did.
So automatically the station is a joke when it comes to giving weather.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm not trying to point that out necessarily, but it is the truth is that because she's a personality, it does affect the TV station. But for the average person that works in an office in a cubicle answering phone calls or something, you know, them getting a DWI, that doesn't affect their job unless they don't get up for work the next day.
God, says she has a lot of mental problems, not to excuse it. Look, I understand she's been through a lot, and I know that she has some issues that she's gone through in her past. And so, but it's still not an excuse to get behind the wheel like that.
Yeah, not that drunk.
No. And Kenny Crumpton got a second chance on for her getting a second chance. Like Kenny Crumpton though wasn't the same.
He didn't flip his car over.
It wasn't the same kind of high profile thing that this is.
Well, and look, the biggest problem with it is Kenny Crumpton flipped his car over. Or not Kenny. Holly Strano flipped her car over and didn't get anything. Got a fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she got fined. She has to pay dollars. So what?
Yeah.
Look, I have a friend. I won't say her name. If you want to look her up, you can look her up. It's real easy to find because it was national news. She got 2 DWIs the same day.
Whew.
This is a couple years ago. She got two DWIs the same day. Now that's bad, and I admit that's really, really bad. But I mean, they threw the book at her so fucking hard that she'll never drive with. If she's 2 days out of having a drink, she probably won't drive again. Because literally, she did jail time. I think she had 18 months of suspended license. Like a $10,000 worth of fines. Like, I mean, they really, really socked it to her, as they should. Not trying to say they shouldn't have, but they socked it to her like nobody's business. And she's just a person that works a regular job.
Right.
Person that's, a news deliverer, a message deliverer in your city, and they flip a car completely over and smash into a telephone pole or a tree or something, and they get, it's $500 and
be careful.
And don't do it again. That's bullshit there.
Plus, she was posting on social media like nothing happened, then took down after it became public. Wasn't a good look. Yeah, I don't know if she I learned that you can post stuff on Instagram and date it.
Yeah,
so it goes up whenever. So I don't know if she actually posted that day or not. But yeah, it wasn't a good look. There was a lot of stuff that people were just vicious on those.
Of course.
But whatever.
We'll
see what happens.
Hopefully it all works out. I mean, I honestly hope she doesn't get fired, but if she does, I'm not going to be heartbroken about it either, because if me and you did it, we'd be more than fired.
Yeah, I know.
We'd be sitting in a cell at this minute.
Yes, we would. So, all right, well, we'll see what happens. And maybe we'll have some more news come Wednesday.
That's right. Last day of the year for the Seth Williams Show.
Yes, but there will be best ofs again while we were gone. And then we'll be back refreshed and hopefully have a bunch of good stuff headed our way.
That's right.
Have yourself a good night. Thanks for listening tonight. And God willing, we'll talk to you again on Wednesday.
See ya.